Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing wonderful. Sorry about that. We had a little hiccup. Again, doing this all, as a one-man show right now. It's just kind of making sure you get all the ducks in a row prior to the show start. So it's just one of those things. You learn as you go. You learn to see what you can do and can't do. But we are live on YouTube. We are live on CharlieFoxtrotRadio.com. We are going to get everything shared here as far as our links are concerned. It's just a lot. We got to make sure that we get everything everywhere that we possibly can. So, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day, like I said. Welcome to the show. Today is March 1st. Today is the first official day of spring, if you will, as far as the meteorological. I hate words. Sometimes I really do. Okay, you guys get where I'm going with this. Usually I'm not tongue-tied with words, but for some reason today, that one is just tripping me up. I hate it. So, welcome everybody. Today, March 1st, the year of our Lord, 2023. 2023 years later, we are still kicking strong. We are still alive. We are still having fun on this planet that we are borrowing for the time being. So, let's get started. We need to bring this down just another little bit. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Yes. Live and learn. We do this all in-house. So it is awesome. One of the first things that you know about Indiana is that the weather makes up its own mind here. We are going to reach almost, it seems like, a high of 60 degrees today. And then who knows what Friday is going to bring. They were talking about a massive snowstorm coming through the Midwest for us to get, and they were talking like, oh, the weather is going to have a massive snowstorm somewhere. Well, the only fun thing is that, Indiana, we're normally getting annihilated in the process. But it seems like that's kind of changed right now to go from possibly having, X amount of snow to maybe now we're going to get rain. I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to wake up Friday and actually see what happens. So that is... oh, goodness. You never know. I swear. But we're going to have fun no matter what. We're still going to keep going strong and kicking. We're just kind of doing some things a little bit different, trying to figure out what the best layout is, what we're going to be doing. So over the next couple of shows, you're going to kind of see some different layouts of the show. See what happens. I mean, that's just really the only way that there is to it. So first up, the way that you know that spring is just around the corner in good old Fort Wayne, where we are out of, is Zestos. We're starting off with something good for the day. Zestos is slated to open. We got notification for one of their stores here in town that March 8th they are going to be opening for ice cream. So you definitely know that springer's around the corner, baseball season's around the corner, little leagues, things of that nature because of that. So if you guys like ice cream, you guys like small shops, things of that nature. If you're in this area, if you're anywhere in Northeast Indiana, you guys need to come down to Fort Wayne and check them out, because they have actually some really good ice cream. They are very, very good at what they do there. So, you guys probably heard yesterday going through this, and this is kind of like our techie side for the day. Okay. You guys probably heard about the new AI program, ChatGPT, that has been coming out. I had just learned about this probably in the last month or so from a good friend of ours that he was showing me when we were at a birthday party one day. And I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Yesterday we had a notification sent out, and, you know, as I say on everything, you always trust but verify. Trust but verify in all of the things that you do. When you see stuff on the internet, when you hear things, okay? You check this out. President Biden, okay? It was an article, it was a video from about 5 years ago, and it was talking, I can't remember what the exact video was discussing, but they used the AI program to do what's called a deep fake. And we all know what a deep fake is. If you're in my generation, you kind of have a idea. You've seen it somewhere through time. But they created this video, and it sounded so real. It sounded, I mean, from a technology standpoint, it was beautifully done. It was, I mean, I would applaud it. And then it's like, crap, this is actually something very bad, so I gotta chastise it. Okay, it's that catch-22. Where, you know, when you see technology being used for bad, it's like, wow, they did a really good job of screwing with us. Okay. The video that was made, that was released, was talking about President Biden getting ready to reinstate the draft for 20-year-olds that are turning 20 this year to fight in the impending war that we have coming up. Okay. So when you look at this video, it looks real. It really does. But the one giveaway is that you just kind of watch the lips of President Biden in the video, and it's just slightly off to what is actually being said. So you kind of can tell with that what's going on. And if they were really going to enlist or reinstate the draft and enlist 20-year-olds, I think everybody across the world would be blowing that out of the water. Okay. With media and either being for it, against it, things of that nature. But, you know, it is a fake, guys, that's coming out. This ChatGPT software that's using the AI sentient concepts is really, really interesting. I haven't been able to dabble in it myself, rather than just all of the hearsay and what I've seen personally from, like, friends. But it has the entire internet at its fingertips to scour, to build, produce, do whatever you ask it to, okay? In this description that a friend of ours showed me, it was talking about, he was like, I'm going to write a quick book. And it literally wrote, he put in like some key information, some key words, some key thoughts, and it pulled from across the internet and just scoured everything to make a legit proper book. And it was like, I'm sitting there reading it and I'm like, holy crap, this is insanity. And it spit out, you know, chapter by chapter. I think it 7 or 8 chapters in, 10 minutes. I mean, it was something ridiculous. I'm like, wow, I wish I could write 7 or 8 chapters in 10 minutes. But be on the lookout for that, guys, because that's going to be coming out a lot more from over the next couple of months. And I'm gonna say it this way, and everybody's gonna know what I mean by when I say this, and they'll understand. This has been a concept, an idea for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. Generation prior to us, our parents will probably say something different about how long ago it's been, but the whole AI concept has been It really kicked off, in my opinion, with the Terminator movies, with Skynet and everything. But if you go back and you listen to like the old radio shows, all of these ideas, all of these concepts have been around for probably 100 years at least now. I mean, listen to the old radio shows like X-1 and, you know, the old Star Treks, and but back when they were radio shows. So we're talking like the 30s, 40s, and early 50s before TV really became a hit. Okay, listen to those types of shows and you can actually hear them talking about this and what they thought it was going to be, and now look at it. Okay, so this is it's an evolving concept that we're going to be falling back on, and I hate to say it, but those call them the crazies with the aluminum foil hats, they're probably right on a lot of the stuff that they've been going crazy about with this. So we just need to keep an eye on that. Be wary, be cautious. You know, technology is great when it's used right. When it's used wrong or it's used for negative purposes, that's when it'll hit the fan. Okay, and I'm not going to lay claim to what I think, but I think if we don't be cautious, it will hit the fan, and it may hit the fan rather soon. So, keeping to go with that. Alrighty, so as I've said before, you let things marinate, you let things simmer for a while before you really start talking about them. This is one that I really wanted to let simmer, like the Tom Brady conversations that we've had over the last couple of shows. Really wanted to let this simmer just to see if anything else came out. Okay, there is an article, because we all know that Queen Elizabeth, Queen of England, passed away not fairly recently, but recently. Prince Charles is going to be set to take the throne. I want to say it's May 9th or May 6th that the coronation process is going to be going on. But something came out that was really interesting that I'm surprised hasn't gotten a lot of backlash yet. I've seen it on a couple of sites, but nobody's really going negative about it. They're just giving the facts, you know, which is awesome. But this is something that I really, really expected to see go sideways really quickly. Camilla, we all know who Camilla is when you refer to the royal family. She originally, when Queen Elizabeth was still alive, the name that was going to be given to her was going to be the Queen's Consort. Okay. Because of the history that has transpired over the last 20, 25 years with Camilla, with Charles, with the royal family. And we all know that. We all know what happened. When it came to light, it was a very, very sticky situation, if you will. But this article, I want to say it was released over the weekend, that when Prince Charles takes the throne and becomes King Charles officially, Camilla will not be referred to as the Queen's Consort. He says that it will be just the Queen, Queen Camilla. Okay, which goes back on what Queen Elizabeth had stated X amount of years ago or recently. I don't know when, guys. I'm not going to sit here and try and act like I do, but she had stated that, you know, it was going to be the Queen Consort, and Prince Charles is going, no, she's just going to be the Queen. You know, cool, fine, whatever. I really expected a lot of backlash from this. I really expected to hear people in America that follow the royal family, and you know who I'm talking about, okay, to have something to say about this, but there really hasn't been a lot of chatter, and I waited for a while just to see if I can get another side of the story, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't dig anything up. So it was really interesting that something like this comes out and nothing is really talked about with it. So, is what it is. What else do we got going on today? Let's have a look-see. Why don't we? Where are we at? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Oh, this is a good one. This is one that I didn't write down. I had the article saved here. Myrtle Beach. We all know Myrtle Beach. Some of us like it. Some of us hate it, like me. Personal preference, guys. Personal preference. I am one of those white sandy beaches of Florida, and where the Gulf is warm, not the Atlantic and the coldness and the dirty beaches and all the random shark attacks, all that stuff. But there is something came out of the local 12 news out in Myrtle Beach that's saying a new drug is sweeping across the major U.S. cities, and several states are trying to take action. We all know that the drugs coming through have been the big high talk of the town as of late, but this one is actually really interesting because it kind of combines everything into one giant cluster mess, which, you know, of course, that's why we have this show, Charlie Foxtrot, because we like talking about messes and discussing them and breaking them down. So this is known as the zombie drug. Okay, this is straight from the article. Okay, it is known as the zombie drug. It is also known as tranq. It is a veterinary tranquilizer, and it's being cut with other drugs, which makes it a drug potentiator, so it increases the high of any drug that it might be cut with. Okay, this is coming from an opioid coordinator, Michelle Smith. Okay. Experts say that they will often cut the drug with opioids like fentanyl, which, you know, we all know fentanyl, that is a very bad drug to begin with. Okay, so this makes overdoses more common because since xylazine, which is what is in the tranq, isn't an opioid, Narcan won't work on it. Okay, this drug is all around absolutely terrifying. It destroys the tissue at the injection site. So not only is it terrifying in the concept as the way that it works, but all the things like that, but visually as well, it can be terrifying. Now, we've all seen our zombie movies. We've all seen our craziness and our fair share of that. So the first thing that comes to my mind is like some zombie movie, Army of the Dead, Resident Evil, things like that, that just doesn't look normal if you were to see it in real life. That's the first thing that comes to my mind of what this would look like. Of course, there's no pictures, because that would be HIPAA violations most likely, but they didn't even do like any concept drawings of it. So, but they continue on saying that it gives users a zombie-like appearance because it causes drowsiness and rots their skin, sometimes all the way down to the bone, probably at the ejection site, which is what they were talking about. Okay, so this can be very, could be very problematic. Myrtle Beach authorities say they haven't seen any cases of tranq overdosing yet, but they are preparing. Okay, Myrtle Beach Fire Captain Jonathan Evans says the department is working with Smith, the coordinator, and will adjust to whatever drugs come their way. We try and stay prepared for any kind of situation, but obviously there's things that will come about that we'll have to adapt to and overcome. As things change, just like with the fentanyl and everything else that we have going on right now, we have to adapt our procedures and make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe as well as protecting those in public. You know, that's a pretty, and that's a good idea. Okay, I mean, you have to be willing to adapt. You can't just go in thinking that one thing's going to work and one thing, and it doesn't, okay, on everything, because we all know that. So they are aware that the effects won't mesh right with the Narcan, so you can't bring them back in an overdose, okay? And to be honest, guys, if you take any type of heavy-duty prescriptions from like a pain specialist or pain management or a specialty doctor, you get Narcan, okay? I have been there personally. You get Narcan just in case you overdose. You have it to resuscitate yourself. Okay, you have it there just in case to bring you back around after the fact. So Narcan is actually a really good piece, but it is one of those at the same time, they know what it can't be used for, and this stuff that's coming out can't be used with it. So, and with it being laced with fentanyl, you know, that's just a scary thought all by itself. That it's just because that fentanyl is becoming more and more laced with things. It's a bad thing. I've seen people have issues with it and try and, you know, kick the habit. You know, I talk to them almost every day still. But it is one of those things that we're going to have to keep an eye out on this summer, you know, through the next year, because as people, you know, start taking vacations, because we all know, you know, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start seeing the spring breakers come out. We're going to start seeing the summer break, summer vacation. We're going to have a lot of potentials for these issues to start coming through. So, needless to say. But, yeah, so I hope there was some good information for you guys today. I hope that there was some uplifting, positive nature in all of it, that we see, you know, we get our ice cream shops open again and not just Dairy Queen. As stated yesterday, we did have that big announcement about our 31 Days of Halloween. Like I said, if you guys know anybody that's an author, if you guys know anybody that is good at writing, even if they're not published, okay, we want to work with them. We want to get their stories out. Okay, we are in the process of finalizing some of the details on it, on what we're going to be doing. But if you check out the contact section at charliefoxtrotradio.com, you'll be able to send in your questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. We keep everything live here, not only on YouTube, but charliefoxtrotradio.com on the main page. You can actually see all the recordings for the 24 hours after the fact, and then we post the news show as we are going live. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. As always, you need to stay safe, you need to have fun, you need to do what you do best, and that is be right. All right. We'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day.